Welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we are at one location that is technically two. The Texarkana Post Office is situated right between both states, so on this side, you're in Texas, and on this side, you're in Arkansas. This Texarkana building is both a post office and courthouse, completed in 1933, and is in fact the only federal building to be listed in two states. As you come up on this side over here, you actually enter in Texas. You go into the lovely post office. We have some doors right down the center. And then once you've crossed over here, you are officially in Arkansas. Located right in front of the post office, we actually have a memorial to John F. Kennedy. He was going to reference Texarkana in the speech that was to be given mere hours after he was assassinated. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. A nice marker in the ground showing Arkansas, Texas, Texarkana, and a latitude-longitude marker so you can know exactly where in the world you are. Now that we're here, let's see what other things we can find in Arkansas. Arkansas is called the natural state, and it's not hard to see why. There's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. In today's voyage, we explore the famous city of Hot Springs. Hot Springs, Arkansas is one of the very first resort cities in all of America. In its many years, Hot Springs has seen everything from spring training with baseball greats such as Babe Ruth, all the way to infamous gangsters such as Al Capone during the time of Prohibition and illegal gambling. There's even a brewery that uses the legendary hot spring waters to whip up a tasty beer or root beer for anybody that stops by. There's plenty of interesting things to see on the streets of Hot Springs, but by far one of the most interesting is also one of Al Capone's favorite hangout spots, the Ohio Club. Opening as a bar and casino in 1905, the Ohio Club is actually Arkansas's oldest bar. Though customers included Babe Ruth and other famous Major League Baseball players during spring training, the Ohio Club is best known for its more infamous customers, such as Al Capone, his rival Bugs Moran, Lucky Luciano, and other gangsters of that era. Though the casino aspect of the Ohio Club quickly became illegal a few years after opening, it continued to run and operate for decades. Behind the scenes, there was still plenty of drinking and gambling being done. Moving on from the historic, seedy underbelly of Hot Springs, you simply have to go through the natural majesty of Hot Springs National Park. If you take the winding drive, you find a tower that you can climb up, and you will be rewarded with an astounding view. The view from the top of Hot Springs Tower can only be described as gorgeous. The views of Hot Springs National Park are almost impossible to compete with. But on the outskirts of town, there is certainly one more thing worth seeing. Here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, not many people know, but there's actually a hidden second town, Tiny Town. Let's go check it out. Tiny Town was a love affair 50 years in the making by the Moshinsky family. Everything here was created by common, everyday items that you would find around the garage, in the kitchen, or outside. One of the best things about Tiny Town is every single exhibit is actually interactive. As you can see here, when you push this button, the little man right over here at the shooting gallery takes his shots. Over here at the local pool, you push the button to make the little guy do his swimming laps. I think the airplane circling overhead is probably one of my favorite fixtures here in Tiny Town. Here we have an old west town where the sheriff is making sure that the bad guy gets put in jail right where he belongs. An entire Indian village. A glorious, lovely mountain pass here. I wish I was a little smaller so I could go exploring. And a lighthouse to make sure you can always find your way home. Uh-oh, looks like the bears have invaded the picnic a little bit. If you need to get away from it all, we have a little island getaway. Why travel anywhere except Tiny Town? You can even see such wonders as Mount Rushmore, where Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln are ready to welcome you. Standing majestically over Tiny Town, we have a model of the Christ of the Ozarks. Here in the barn, we have a dance well underway. They sure know how to party here in Tiny Town. And even though they know how to party, they also know how to get work done. As you can see, this tractor diligently getting his work. And just in case you need to relieve yourself, a nice little porta potty over here. Here, we'll turn the light off so he has some privacy. If modern life is more your thing, not a problem. Here at Tiny Town, they are very accommodating of all lifestyles and eras. There is something for everyone. Who wouldn't want to live in this tiny paradise? Standing by in case a fire breaks out here in Tiny Town, we have the tiny firefighters. Sitting back enjoying a relaxing rocking chair, just until they're needed. Those are the true heroes right there. Tiny Town salutes you, boys. Though the original creator of Tiny Town has unfortunately passed on, it is clear that his family has continued his love and passion for this wonderful tiny town. If you're very lucky, when you visit, you may even convince them to show you what it looks like at night. And just like the real world, night eventually falls and brings peace and quiet to Tiny Town. As the sun sets and the moon rises, the beautiful lights of Tiny Town truly come to life, and you see this massive town filled with sparkles and brightness. It's truly a sight worth seeing. Though it may be small in size, Tiny Town is more lively and active than almost any big town I've ever seen. I think that just goes to prove that sometimes even the tiniest of things can be great. Good night, Tiny Town. Sweet dreams. Thanks for tagging along on this week's voyage. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us next week for a brand new adventure. This is David for Abnormal Voyages. Voyages. Thanks for watching.